One of the key battlegrounds in the abortion debate is going to be Michigan, where the Republican-led state house and the Democratic governor, of course, Gretchen Whitmer, are both, of course, up for re-election this fall and are at opposite ends of the issue. There's also confusion throughout the state after its largest health care provider initially said it would follow guidance from a 1931 state law only allowing abortion to protect the life of the mother. That law is now unenforceable under a temporary state court injunction. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel joins me now. We've been talking about confusing decisions and countermanding decisions around the country, and Michigan is a case in point. It's also a case of a number of states where there is a Democratic governor or in Pennsylvania, open Democratic seat in the state house, and Republican legislatures who can then move, barring a Democratic veto, to outlaw abortion. So let's begin with where things stand in your state.
Well, we have a 1931 law on the books that criminalizes abortion. No exceptions, really. No exception for rape, no exception for incest, seemingly no exception for medical emergencies. The only exception is to save the life of the mother. And it's really not certain, what the criteria is for that. I mean, does there have to be 100% chance that the woman will die? What if they have, high blood pressure and maybe there's a 40% chance they'll die during pregnancy or childbirth? Unknown. So in the meantime, there are a couple cases that are pending. One that was filed by the governor against the county prosecutors, calling for the 1931 law to be found unconstitutional. There's another case where Planned Parenthood sued me to stop me from enforcing the law. Well, no problem there, because I committed, even when I was running for, I would not be enforcing that draconian law. 2 million women of reproductive age in my state, that there was a likelihood that the lawsuit would prevail. So the Court of Claims issued a preliminary injunction. And that wasn't just binding on me, that's also binding on all 83 county prosecutors in the state. So for right now, abortion remains legal in Michigan. But of course, it's a very precarious set of circumstances because the case is being appealed to the Court of Appeals. And if, they find that the stay, the preliminary injunction, should be lifted, then everything will change in the coming weeks or the coming months. So our only real hope beyond that is a ballot proposal that is garnering some steam, that if it makes the ballot in November and if it passes, then Roe will be codified into our Michigan Constitution, making not just abortion legal, but birth control in the event Griswold is overturned, and IVF, which would be outlawed by our 1931 law.
So, Attorney General Nessel, what are the chances of that referendum? Where does the polling stand in Michigan in terms of this issue? Or should I ask, are Democratic voters, along with other voters, more inclined to vote on the economy, inflation, and other kitchen table concerns?
Hard to know. One would hope with the polling that we've seen on the issue of abortion, at least 2 out of every 3 voters in our state, if not more, want to see those protections for abortion rights on the books or in our Constitution. It's really a matter of just ensuring that they get out to vote. If they come out to vote, they will vote in favor of this ballot proposal. There's no question in my mind. It's really a matter of voter turnout. But I think people have to start to appreciate just how high the stakes are right now, and that, failing to come out and vote for pro-choice candidates in the legislature, failing to reelect our governor, and failing to put this ballot proposal onto the books is literally a matter of life or death for women all around the state of Michigan. The guy that I'm running against has said publicly that he doesn't even believe there should be an exception to save the life of the mother, because he doesn't believe there are any circumstances in which a woman would die either during childbirth or during her pregnancy. So that's how extreme and radical the Republicans are on this issue. And it should be terrifying to women in this state.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, thank you very much.